Yes, guys, welcome back to another vid from Mutal FC, and today we got another banging vid for you. Today we got Week 31 predictions, and the first game of the week we're going to talk about is Spurs v United.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with the biggest game of the week. I'm United Spurs. I'm going United 6-1. I just think last time we lost 6-1 in embarrassing fashion, even with the Bruno penalty. It's not going to happen again. We're going to completely turn it around. We just came off not a very convincing win, but we got a win. Tottenham, on the other hand, did not win. So I think we can get a win here and hopefully make it pretty big. So I'm going United 6-1.
I'm not as confident as Chris, but I still do think United are going to win this 1-0. Spurs can't beat Newcastle. They played them twice this season. Can't beat Newcastle. United won against Newcastle 2 times. The Spurs can't beat Brighton. United can beat Brighton. What do we see here? Spurs are shit. Mourinho literally dogged his own players yesterday in the interview. If a lot of you saw that, I just think United, even though they have Europa League on Thursday and Spurs don't have it, I just think the players at United have a higher confidence. Spurs are low confident players right now. So yeah, I think 1-0 to United.
Yeah, so another big game for the week, we got Leicester West Ham. A game I think very important for a Champions League spot, especially two teams that weren't expected to be here at this point. I have Leicester winning 3-1. I think it's important they win this game. And I mentioned it last video, like in this final run of games, they have 4 or 5 games where they play teams that are fighting for a Champions League spot. So I think they have to win at least 2 or 3 of those, and West Ham, I think, has to be one of them. And I think Declan Rice is also out, so I think they're playing Wolves right now. I don't think they'll suffer there because Wolves' attack just isn't great. But against a Leicester team with Jamie Vardy and that Leicester attack, I think without Declan Rice, West Ham are going to struggle. So I have Leicester winning 3-1.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Chris again. West Ham fans, you're having a great season, but I do think the Declan Rice injury is a massive one at this point of the season. For 2 to 4 weeks, and I think Leicester are getting a lot of their players back from injury. And even though they suffered that loss at Man City, and it was a terrible performance from them, I think they have to bounce back. So yeah, I'm going 2-1 to Leicester City.
Yeah. So next up we got Fulham Wolves. I'm going Fulham 2-1. I really think that Fulham's going to find a way to get out of this relegation battle and stay safe, especially with Newcastle's form right now. Fulham their roster is just not as talented. Their team is not as talented as some of these other teams, but they're somehow keeping up. I think Scott Parker is doing a really good job as coach there. They're playing a Wolves team that can't find a way to score. So Fulham's weakness is defense. So when you play a team that can't score well, then you can just focus on your attack and hopefully score enough goals to win the game. So I think that should be enough for Fulham, and I have them winning 2-1.
Yeah, I also have Fulham winning 2-1. I just think when you always see this in any of the top 5 leagues in football, when it comes down to those last 8 or 9 games and the teams in the relegation zone need to fight for points, they turn up. Like you usually don't want to play those teams. You want to be playing the teams that have already achieved what they need to, because the teams down in the bottom, they're gonna fight for their lives. And Fulham are pulling off a great escape, right? They were 9 or 10 points off safety. They're only 4 points off. Newcastle are not playing great. Fulham are playing. You can't say unlucky, but they played good against Villa. They really did compete. They just lost focus in the last 10 minutes, and Villa punished them. But I think this Wolves side, like Chris mentioned, don't have the best attackers, obviously due to the injuries. They're lacking confidence. They are currently losing to West Ham 3-0. So the defensive stability of Wolves has kind of gone from the last couple of years. So I think Fulham have a big chance to win this game. So I'm going 2-1 to Fulham.
Yeah, so kicking off our Saturday games, we got Man City Leeds. I'm going Man City 3-0. I just think Leeds, we've seen it constantly this season against the top 6 teams. They just leave so many gaps because they're such an attacking team. And a team with the quality of Man City is just going to punish them for that. I also think Leeds' attacking style does not fit. It's not going to work against a team like City because Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Laporte, whoever's back there is just rock solid. There's no way to get through them, it seems like. So I think Man City should win this comfortably. I have them winning 3-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 to Man City. I just think it could be a higher scoreline for Man City. The only thing I think it won't be that bad is because City have to play Dortmund in the week. I think a lot of their players are gonna be tired from that, so they won't play at the highest gear. But even then, I think they'll take care of Leeds. Chris touched on some of the points. Leeds, they're just I feel like their attacking style has actually worn off, especially in the second half of the season. You see this with Bielsa's teams. He always gets criticized. First half of the season, Leeds always do really good, whether it was a championship, Premier League, but in the second half, because they play this high intensity play, they get tired in the second half of the season. And we're seeing that in the last 5 or 6 games, they've only scored 4 goals, right? That's not something you usually associate with Leeds. And I think they're going to struggle against a very compact, defensively solid City side. And City has so much quality. I mean, if people saw that KDB pass in the Leicester game, when that man's playing at his top form, it's unbeatable. So yeah, Man City 2, Leeds 0.
Yes, moving on to Liverpool, Aston Villa. I have Aston Villa winning 7-2 again. I know people are going to be like, oh, are you joking? Like Liverpool, like Champions League side, fighting for a Champions League spot. How are they going to lose 7-2? Well, they did it once. They could probably do it again. They're not having a great season. Aston Villa get Jack Grealish back. They're also fighting for a Champions League spot. I don't see why this game can't be 7-2 again. So I have Aston Villa winning 7-2.
As much as I'd love to see Liverpool get smashed by Villa again, I don't know what's going to happen. I have a Liverpool 1, Villa 1 draw. I do still think Liverpool, even though they beat Arsenal, let's be real. You have to give some credit to Liverpool, I will. But it was really Jota that saved them, right? I'll be honest, that game was a probably poor game. Arsenal did not turn up at all. They just didn't show up, made it easier for Liverpool. And Jota was really the one that turned the screw. I just think Villa are going to be a much harder side. No offense to Arsenal, but I think Villa will be a harder side to play. I think they'll make it defensively compact for Liverpool, so hard to beat them, hard to break them down. And I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, so next up we got Chelsea, Crystal Palace. I'm giving Chelsea the win here, but after watching that display that they put on Saturday morning, that was like I really don't have any words. You let in 5 goals to a West Brom team that's already going down to the championship. They really did not have really any quality to win that game 5-2. So if you're Chelsea, I would be very embarrassed losing to a team. They got 1 point against West Brom this season. Like West Brom got more points in the 2 games they played. You tied 3-3 and then you lose 5-2. But anyways, I have Chelsea winning 2-0. I think they have to bounce back here against a Crystal Palace team that's just really average. I feel like they just haven't been talked about this season. And Chelsea need to win games now to get into this Champions League. So for next year, so I have Chelsea winning 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going with a 0-0. I don't trust the Chelsea team. I said it from the start. I do think Tuchel has made a very good impact at defensively solidifying the Chelsea team, right? They had issues in the defense. He's probably, except that West Brom game, which was crap. Bar that, he's completely made them solid, but goal scoring, they were crap. But now, like, Thiago Silva, this dude was brought in to be a leader. My man against West Brom has fucked up twice. And because of his mistakes, 8 goals. Chelsea have conceded 8 goals to West Brom. West Brom have only scored 25 fucking goals this whole season, and 8 of them have been against Chelsea. This is why I call you guys Chelsea shit. You guys are shit. You guys are not gonna. You guys, if you had won this game, would have been comfortable in the top 4. I think everyone. Now you've dragged yourself in the top 4 race with those other teams below you. West Ham can go above you, and they're going to with their 3-0 lead at the moment. So Chelsea are making it hard for themselves. I think Crystal Palace, even though they're in mid-table, have really nothing to play for. I think they're just going to make it frustrating for Chelsea. And with Chelsea have to play in midweek against Porto, I think their players are going to be tired. So I'm going with a stale 0-0 draw.
Yeah, so moving on to Arsenal, Sheffield. Honestly, I don't even know why we're talking about this game because neither of these teams really have anything to play for anymore. Arsenal have had a terrible season. I don't think people are talking about it enough. They're sitting in 10th place. They're 5 points off, I believe, 9th, and like 7 off 8th. 8th place is the minimum to get you into Europa League, so they're going to miss Europa League. But I do think they'll end up winning this game because it's a Sheffield team that I think has just admitted that their season is over. They really have nothing to play for. They're not good enough for the Premier League, they've shown this season. So I do have Arsenal winning 3-0.
Yeah, I still think Arsenal will make a hard work of this game. I'm only gonna say 2-1, but like Chris mentioned, Sheffield are done for. Arsenal are not getting criticized, and I think it's maybe because Arteta gets away with the "oh, I won the FA Cup" argument, so that's why people don't criticize him. But let's be real. Ollie said this and he got flack for it, right? Cup always winning a trophy is never bad. You want to win trophies, right? But sometimes they can cover up the progress the team is actually making. That FA Cup win last season has covered up Arteta's cracks, right? He played 5 at the back defensive to win those games against Chelsea and Man City to the semifinal and final, right? He's strayed away from that this season, and because of that, he's getting exposed, right? Our Arsenal fans don't want to see defensive park the bus football, right? But that's the only thing that's worked under Arteta. This expansive play, he doesn't have the players to play with it, obviously, because Gabriel, Ceballos, these guys are just jack shit. Aubameyang hasn't turned up. Arsenal fans are like, oh no, we have a good team. Arteta's going to make us play. No, you relied on Aubameyang for the last 2.5 years. That's why you weren't lower. He had scored 20 plus goals last 2-3 seasons. So Arteta should be under pressure. Arsenal are playing completely shit. The most losses they've ever had in a top flight season. But because it's a crap Sheffield team, they're going to win this game. So yeah, I guess 2-1 to Arsenal.
Yeah, so for the final game of the week, we got Everton-Brighton. I have Everton winning 2-0. This Brighton team, I think, will stay up. I think they deserve to stay up the way they've played. They just haven't been able to get results. You saw it twice against United this year. They probably could have won the first game. They probably could have won yesterday on Sunday. It's just they're not able to close out games, it seems like. They're not a terrible team. But I do think Everton, especially coming off a Crystal Palace tie today, they have to win next week to stay in the Champions League race. So I have them winning 2-0.
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Again, I have a draw for Brighton Everton because I do think Brighton have played, in a lot of games, they've played very well, but they just haven't been able to finish their chances, or they make silly mistakes, like with the United game yesterday, that silly giveaway for the first equalizer. It's just poor for them. But I think they are playing very well. They've put in good performances, and I think they'll give Everton a hard game. As for Everton, I mean, they're not as bad as they've been in the last couple of years, but they just keep on bottling it. They had a great chance, right? They were 1-0 up against Crystal Palace until the 85th minute, and then they bottled it. That was a big chance to go cement themselves in the top 4, and they didn't do it. I think this is Everton, just like a mentality, just like with Spurs. It doesn't matter what manager you bring into the team, it's just they have that mentality, a mental block that they can't move forward. So I do think Everton are going to make hard work of this game. I think they'll get outplayed by Brighton, to be honest. And I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. But you guys let us know in the comments down below. What do you think is going to happen in some of these games? We didn't touch upon Burnley-Newcastle, but who gives a fuck about that game, right? Newcastle are probably going to take an L. And West Brom-Southampton, even if West Brom somehow pull a fucking win, they're gone. Let's just be real, they're gone. So we didn't give a shit about those 2 games. But you guys let us know in the comments down below, who do you think is going to win some of these games? United, Spurs, Liverpool, Villa, 7-2 again? Let us know. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button. And other than that, boys, we'll catch you next week.